el placer de estar con Scott Ian de Anthrax. Scott, welcome back to Spain.
Thank you.
What's the thing about coming back? Because you haven't given us a show in quite a long time, and then in 1 year, 2 tours, complete tours here in Spain.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I feel like we come to Spain all the time, but yeah,
We don't.
In the
Not
last
often.
few years we have, maybe not enough, but yeah, it just worked out lucky for us that there's been a lot of shows in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like we were just here and now we get to come back and play another festival, so it's great. You know, I'm not complaining. I love coming to Spain.
I know, and you like the public here as well.
Yes, shows are great. The food is great. The wine is great. Everything's great.
Girls?
We went to Vigo.
Vigo, yes.
Yes, we went there for the first time ever last month, and we had an amazing show there. Played it in this park in the city. It was incredible, and great food there too. Nobody cares about the food, but
you do.
yeah. Great, amazing food. I had like the best octopus I ever had in my life.
Good. Well, you know, if you want to eat nice octopus here, Scott recommends to go to Vigo.
Yes.
Okay, well, 35 years of success with Anthrax, 35 years in this industry, which is not easy at all. What's the potion, the magic potion to still be in the top? Everybody wants to know that.
I wish there was a magic potion, because we'd sell it at the merch stand with the t-shirts. There's no, I don't know. I think you just really have to love what you do. That's a part of it. We still love being in a band. We love writing songs. We love making records. We love playing shows. For me, that's my favorite part of being in the band, is the time on stage. So, you know, all of that. We just really enjoy getting to be in a band. And of course, that doesn't mean you're going to have success. I assume everybody loves playing music, but I don't, you know, the only thing I can say is that we just work really hard and try and be the best that we can all the time for the fans all over the world that actually love this band and support the band. And I guess that's how you remain a band for 35 years, is if people still want to hear your music. Like, I mean, without the audience, there's no band. Or there would be a band, but we would just be in the house playing songs. But, you know, I just think we work really hard all the time. And all that hard work, it pays off.
Can we say that you do your music for the fans or for yourself, you personally?
It's always for myself first. I have to love what I do. If I don't like what I do, then I'd be bored, and the fans aren't going to enjoy it if I'm bored. But if I'm really into what I'm doing, well, then I think everyone's going to be into what I'm doing. So I think it always has to come from your heart first.
Okay, well, let's talk about the latest album, For All the Kings. Great work, by the way. It's a great album. And I found that there was a lot of similarities with the album that makes you boom, you know, out there, which was Among the Living. In regards, you know, it's a base of thrash, but it has that part of melodics,
Right.
which is really great. I don't know, is this new album going back to the roots of Anthrax? How you perceive that in a personal way?
I don't analyze it. I don't.
You should.
Nah, I can't, because I'm too close to it. It's all Anthrax to me. So it's not something I really analyze. I like hearing what other people have to say about it and what their opinions are. But for me, like I said earlier, we just work really hard in the time, you know, we have to write songs for a record. And we work really, really hard at that. And we're really tough on ourselves and very critical about what we're doing all the time. And that gets harder every time, because, you know, you always want to do better. You try your best to do better every time. And for All Kings, we felt like we had a lot to live up to with worship music, and because that record kind of put us back on the map. And then we toured for 4 or 5 years, and For All Kings is coming, and you know, we knew we had to make a great record, and that's not an easy thing. Believe me, we threw a lot of things in the garbage while we were making this album that we just didn't feel was good enough, and It all worked out because I think the album is great. Of course I do. But I do think it is. I would compare it to Among the Living in the way that Spreading the Disease, way back when, that's the album that kind of put us on the map. Joey joined the band. We made Spreading the Disease. We went out and toured. People started to find out about Anthrax. And then we became a band, and that was the band that was able to make Among the Living.
Yeah, sure.
It was very similar this time around because Joey came back to the band for worship music. We went out on tour, and then we became the band that could write For All Kings. So there are a lot of similarities when it comes to that. I don't think they sound alike at all, but as far as places where the band was, it was a very similar feeling, to become a band again and be very happy about becoming that band again. And there was a lot of positivity going into this record, just like Among the Living.
That's very interesting. But when you were recording or when you were writing this new album, did you realize what you have between your hands? Like, did you have the feeling in your stomach like this is gonna be not another good album from Anthrax, but a really great album?
I did. I thought the material was great. Once we had about 6 or 7 songs, and like they weren't finished, but they were close, and I could feel it. I think all of us could tell that we had something really great. It was really taking shape, and it felt really strong, and it just felt exciting. The tracks had a lot of energy, and we never got bored. I mean, even still now, I play the songs constantly, and I listen to the record still, and it still sounds exciting to me. And I must have heard it 1,000 times by now, and I'm still very excited by it. Almost like I'm listening to it, like I'm not in the band, like I'm a fan. And it really is. I just think it's a great, exciting record. There's so much energy in the tracks. I feel like you could really feel it. I don't know. That's my personal opinion about it.
Do you listen to your own records while you're driving your car, for example?
Just this one.
Just this one?
Yeah, none of the other stuff. The only time I really listen to anything older is if I have to relearn a song.
Okay, yeah.
But right now, I'm listening to For All Kings longer than I've ever listened to any other album in our career. I was listening to it today in my room just because I was like, I really want to hear that song, Defend Avenge. Like, I was excited to hear it. Like I was excited to put on an Iron Maiden album or something. It just, like I said, I almost feel like I can listen to it like a fan and not like I'm in the band.
That means a lot. Like the fact that you cannot stop listening to your new album.
So yeah, I think so. It means a lot to me. It's like it's like a child. It's like a new child.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and what's the key for a successful album?
Well, writing good songs.
Obviously, but for Anthrax, for you, what do you think is?
That's it. There's only one key. You have to write good songs, otherwise your album's gonna suck. I know that sounds obvious, but what else is there? There's nothing else.
That's true.
You could have the shittiest sounding record, but it'll still be great if the songs are good.
Okay. That's a good thing. Anyway, let's talk about the history of Anthrax a little bit. And you are one of those few bands of thrash metal who had so many members since you start till now.
Not really.
You actually have 21, I count them. 21 members went through Anthrax.
Really?
Why is that? Why you cannot keep your guys together, man?
21 since when, though? Not since Fistful of Metal.
I would say from the beginning.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count. Yeah,
why?
Because we didn't even have a record out. We weren't even a real band yet.
Okay.
Like, you were trying to find the lineup that would make the band that would be able to make a record in the first place. So I don't really count it.
We can cut it in half.
I don't.
It's still a lot.
Till Fistful of Metal.
Still a lot, though.
I don't think so.
Why you cannot keep your members together?
We can. I think I disagree with you.
Okay.
Me, Charlie, and Frankie have been together since...
From the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, and Joey's been there. We've had basically 2 singers, Joey and John. And 3 lead guitar players, really.
Okay.
So that's it. I don't think that's a lot. Megadeth has had way more people in their band. So as other bands have had way more people in their band than us.
Okay, well, let's talk about a few members that left, and I think personally that might be the most painful ones to let them go. One, Danny.
No.
He became a clockmaker. Yeah.
No, you're talking about Danny Spitz.
And Rob that moved first saying that he wants to produce, and now he's involved with.
Right.
How does it feel?
I'm very happy for Rob.
Good.
Yeah, he's my friend first before I think about business. And when he said he was leaving, I could only be happy for all his success, whether it's producing or playing guitar and Volbeat or anything he does.
Good. Okay, well, let's talk about a bit of the lyrics of Anthrax. You always are out there with, the trends, what's going on with the world. What's your opinion about what's happening now in Europe? Because, as you know, there is this wave of Islamic terrorist attacks and, threats. What's your opinion about that?
My opinion?
Yes.
I'm a human being, and I think it's horrible. Like, I assume every other human being feels the same way about that, except for, obviously, the terrorists.
Good point. Are you scared of being in Europe right now?
I'm not scared to be in Europe. No. If I was afraid, then I wouldn't leave my house. But I'm not gonna change my life because of that. I have no choice. It's either I travel and I be in the band, or I stay home, and I still choose to travel. Don't get me wrong. I don't like all the traveling, even without terrorist attacks. Traveling so much is just a pain in the ass in general, but the shows are worth it. There's an old cliche, I don't know who said it, it was Alice Cooper or somebody said it a long time ago. They don't pay me to play, they pay me to travel. And it's true. No one gets paid to have fun on stage. You get paid for all the other bullshit in between of getting to the shows. That's what you get paid for. I do the shows for free. It's the travel that sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that people are blowing shit up, of course, doesn't make it any easier. And I do think about it. Of course, you can't not think about it, when you see this shit going on all the time. But you just have to live your life. I'm not going to stop living my life. The terrorism has been going on this planet forever. And generations of people have lived through this before us, all over the world. And, you just got to hope for the best and hope that eventually shit's going to work itself out. And it'll calm down for a while anyway, and then I'm sure something else bad will happen. But, that's just the planet we live on. It's sad that normal humans have to share the planet with not normal humans. And, but there's nowhere else for us to go.
That's a good way to say it, actually.
If they start colonizing other planets, well, then we have a choice. Then you could go somewhere else. But then people will start arguing about shit once they get to the moon. Human beings are really good at a few things. One of them is arguing and killing each other.
That's true.
We just can't seem to get along.
Well,
I'm not gonna fix it.
Last question then, and we finish. We'll let you go because you have a show now. I have my sources, and I find out that I guess it was in the 90s. There was no internet, so people didn't know much about it. But there was some sort of competition, we can tell fight, in between Anthrax and Exodus on a baseball game between you. I really want to know your story, your side of the story. What happened that day?
I think that was actually I was in the 80s, actually.
The 80s, right? Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I want to say it was the Headbangers Ball Tour in 1989.
Oh my God, your memory is amazing.
We played a softball game on a day off on that tour, and they kicked our ass. Exodus whooped our butts that day.
You remember the numbers?
I don't remember the numbers, but I know they...
21-0.
No, it definitely wasn't 0. It wasn't 0, but it was not good.
Okay, well, Scott, thank you so much, and we'll let you go now. And well, welcome again to Spain.
Cool, thank you.
See you on stage. Scott, Ian, Shadia for EMP Live TV.